I don't even know what it's fucking capturing. Hold on.
My heart.
Audio or display capture. Ah, all right. I think we're fine. What's my audio looking like? Headphone. Okay.
If I lose you like shortly here, I'll be like right back.
Okay,
If you
Andrew,
don't
give me a
mind.
little sound check. I can hear Nate.
Sound check 1, 2.
All right, I can hear everybody. Yippee. All right. Sorry about
Woo!
the late start. I had a my laptop freaked out and it just didn't work. It like totally shut off and it wouldn't turn back on. But we're fine now. We're moving. I'm a little frazzled, but we're here. F101 week 21. It is the Brazil preview for November 5th. It's another sprint weekend. Um which give or take on the sprint, I'm more sold on the sprint ever since seeing it in person. Um But at least there's multiple overtaking points, and Brazil always provides us with some good racing. Before we dive into that, let's get into the schedule. Because it's a sprint weekend, nothing ever starts at the same time. It's kind of all over the place. Practice is Friday at 9:30 in the morning. Sprint qualifying is Friday at 1:30 p.m. Sprint the sprint race is Saturday at 9 a.m. The real qualifying is Saturday at 1 p.m. and the race is Sunday at 12 p.m. So there's no consistency to the start times, which is fine. Uh, that's just how it is. These are all in Eastern time. The only time I did Central was just because we were going to be there. And it is the home race for Gabriel Bortoleto and Lewis Hamilton. Kinda. I'll get into that later. Um, Due to what happened last year in Brazil, I feel the need to have a weather report. So as of this morning, it's storming there today, and it's going to rain on Saturday, and it looks like clear skies Friday and Sunday. Now, that's obviously subject to change because weather does weird things, but it has been storming there. I think it was storming there Monday, Tuesday, and today. So it's been rainy, which means the track is probably going to be a little fresh. But it doesn't look like it's going to rain Sunday. So McLaren fans everywhere have, you can feel the sigh of relief after what happened last year. Our current World WDC standings. I'm going to start including the current standings for both championships just so we can keep up to date, especially now that it's towards the end of the year and everyone is so close, so every shift really matters. Um, and you can look at them here, but I'll just give the top like 10, which is Norris at 357, Piastri at 356, Verstappen at 321, followed by Russell at 258 and Leclerc 210. That's the top 5. I'll just do the top 5. And then current World Constructors Championship, McLaren has obviously clinched with 713. Then way behind them is Ferrari with 356, Mercedes with 355, Red Bull with 346, and Williams with 111. So the fight for second is kind of between Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull in the constructors, and then the fight for first is between really Norris and Piastri and Verstappen for the drivers. As you can see, it's all to play for, and there's a lot of other exciting battles in the WDCC. I'm sorry, it's all to play for in the drivers, and there's a lot of exciting battles in the constructors that's happening. Norris leads the drivers by 1, and while Verstappen is back by 36 points, which is a lot, he can make that up. I think we all know that he's capable of making that up. Um, and especially if Piastri or Norris finish poorly, out of the points entirely, or don't finish at all. That would shift everything if we get another, uh, you know, Lando in, what was it? Uh, Zandvoort, or we get Oscar in Baku. Moments like that can really make things a lot closer as we get to the end, because any mistake is really rough because you only have 3 races after this to recover. So there's not as much time. Whereas you make a mistake at the beginning of the year, you're like, okay, I got way more races to make up for it now. You mess up, that could be it. Um, Norris now has to deal with the pressure of the one being chased, which could benefit Piastri, even though he hasn't been doing well lately. And we come into Brazil, where last year Max Verstappen had a masterclass of a race. Brazil 24 was genuinely a Max Verstappen legacy race. 17th to first in the pouring rain, and that memory is going to be fresh in Red Bull, McLaren, and everyone else's minds. Everyone's going to be thinking about that race from last year. Add on the threat of rain this year, and we've got a really interesting high stakes race ahead of us. One mistake can set you on the back foot, like I said, with only 3 future races to recover. Below the McLaren Verstappen battle, we kind of have Ferrari and Mercedes only 1 point away from each other in the race for second. In the This says WDC, that should say WCC. With the Red Bull 9 behind Mercedes, I think that's like kind of people are watching the first place drivers battle and the second place constructors battle. I think that's the two main things people are looking for. If Verstappen keeps winning, which he's capable of, and Ferrari and Mercedes keep taking points away from each other, then with the help of some solid finish from Tsunoda, third isn't impossible. And honestly, neither is second for Red Bull. But it's going to be an uphill battle without a doubt. Without a doubt. Um, and the drivers, moving back to the drivers, Hulkenberg is in ninth. But with his recent performances, it's not guaranteed where he'll finish. He hasn't been great in this final stretch of the year. Especially Hadjar is only 2 points behind him. Sainz 3, Alonso 4, Behrman and Stroll 9, Lawson and Ocon 11, and Tsunoda 13. All it takes is a strong finish from either of those drivers to really shake things up. Expect a lot of movement in the push for 9th and 10th in WDC. Where these guys are now is no guarantee where they're going to end the year at, especially if we get like a Hulken podium or, Hadjar podium again, like something freak moment like that. Behrman finishing up in 4th place again. That would shake things up. That move everything around. For example, if Behrman finished 4th, I think that would put him ahead of uh it would definitely put him ahead of Hulkenberg if Hulkenberg didn't score at all. Um Williams have realistically secured 5th with Racing Bulls 39 points behind them, and Williams is looking strong. And while anything can happen, Racing Bulls are likely more concerned with Aston, who are only 3 behind them, Haas, who are 10 behind them, and Sauber, who are 12 behind them. And then Alpine, unfortunately, Dave isn't here, but Alpine is very far behind with only 20 points. But it's worth noting that they went from 8th to 6th in Brazil last year with the 2-3 finish. If they repeated that and Sauber didn't score at all, that would put them still 7 behind Sauber. And we've seen Sauber, Racing Bulls, and Williams on the podium this year, so while Alpine is likely stuck in dead last, you can't count anyone out 100% just yet. And this kind of intensity is only going to increase as we get closer and closer to the end. Now, before we do anything, for anyone says anything about the current standings or anything, every week since Dave has been gone, I've done a moment of silence at the beginning. I didn't do it this time because I wanted to talk about Alpine, and now I'm going to give Dave his 10-second moment of silence. So if you all please remove your hats and look at a flag of some kind in the nearest vicinity. Thank you. All right, man. 10 seconds is a long time when you're not doing anything. Anyone have anything to say about the current battles going on in the drivers and the constructors?
Behrman's gonna beat Alonso this year in the World Drivers' Championship. Calling it.
He's only 5 behind him. I can see that. I can see that. I have faith in Behrman. He's got 32. Alonso's got 37. Huh?
He was raced Brazil before.
He has. It was in the rain, and he had a horrible time.
But well, the car may not be that much better, or maybe worse, in fact. But
it's not. Hopefully, it doesn't rain with that intensity. That was like a dangerous amount of rain.
Yeah.
I think he could do it. I definitely think he has it in him. Will depend what Aston car shows up for Alonso. And what Haas car shows up for Behrman. So
both of those cars are flip a coin every race.
They are. And they're also fighting each other for the constructors. So, if Behrman gets up to Alonso, Alonso's not going to make it easy to overtake. Like on track.
Right.
So, and Ocon's only excuse me, Ocon's 2 behind Behrman. So he's, they're all that's going to be a really good battle, I think, to watch. But those two, add in the Sauber, who haven't been doing great, but Racing Bulls certainly as well. I mean, I think Racing Bulls, Aston Martin, Haas, It's going to be a good battle to watch. Sauber might get in there a little bit, but
Mhm.
I don't have as much faith in Sauber. And then there's Alpine, obviously. So that is the drivers and constructors. Nate, I'm sure has thoughts, but he's like half at work right now. So we will not to expose him live on the internet to everybody.
I'm just living out my childhood janitor dream right now. As I
Are you
avoid this
hide?
mom.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, are you like hiding in a closet or something? What does that even mean?
I was in a closet just now. Actually, I just soaked my freaking self too. Unfortunately.
Okay? So you were
Are
in
you
a
at
closet
work?
and you wait. You were in a closet and you soaked yourself, and now you're out of the closet. Is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Out of the closet and dripping.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Just wanted to clarify. Just
and
wanted to
dripping.
clarify.
Yeah. Having a
Um.
grand time.
I'm gonna text you later.
I'm rooting. I'm rooting for Alonso out of spite now, though. I heard the Bearman claims. I do believe Bearman has the capabilities. But I'm hoping Alonso holds on to it. If not,
That's just
improves
because I
upon it.
got you an Alonso hat.
You got him an Aston
Okay,
hat. Was it an Alonso hat?
It was an
it was
Alonso
an
hat. It's got a
Alonso hat.
14 on it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just knew it was an Aston hat. Nate said he was gonna
It,
swear off. For context, chat. Nate said he was gonna swear off McLaren. If they kept messing up, and so Andrew preemptively got him uh an Aston Martin hat in preparation.
very on
But
brand for Andrew.
because it should be noted that Honda is moving to Aston, and Nate is a fan of Honda. So that
Hardline
is
Honda.
that's important context.
Honda
You
is
didn't just
fighting.
randomly
Charging a
choose
Toyota
Aston.
Camry.
My Honda has been powering my family's dreams for generations. I gotta continue the legacy.
There you go. He's gonna have to root for
But yeah,
Stroll next year. I can't wait. All
I don't
right,
know what'll
let's.
be more frustrating: rooting for Stroll on the track or rooting for Lando on like media days.
Oh, yeah, who's gonna? What's worse, Lando inevitably saying something stupid or Stroll inevitably crashing?
But yeah,
All
F101.
right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's always, hey, we are the #1 comedy podcast about Formula One. I don't think that's true. Totally made that up, but that's my new. It's gonna be my new stinger. The #1 comedy podcast about. There's the episode's title. The #1 comedy podcast about F1. That's the title of this episode. Um. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the sprint weekend. There's more points on the table, maximum of 33 opposed to 25, and those 8 points will matter in this close drivers' championship race. Pressure's on McLaren to hold it and on Verstappen to take it away, and all three drivers are more than capable of doing so. Norris is now the hunted, while Piastri is the hunter. But Piastri's form has been great, and a more dangerous animal in Max Verstappen lurks behind him. And Brazil is a strong race for Verstappen. He loves it here, and while Brazil loves him, they love his one-time rival and future lover? Question mark? Even more. Before I get into this, I almost had a more dangerous predator in Max Verstappen lurks behind him, but it just wasn't. It didn't sound right, and I was like, I can't. I
Yeah, I
gotta just.
wonder
We're
why.
we're just gonna go with animal. We're going with animal over predator. I labored on that decision for a good like 10 minutes. I was like predator, animal. I kept going back and forth. I landed on animal. I think that's the safe option.
But what kind of animal are we talking about here?
A lion, obviously.
Why?
That's his logo.
Is it his logo?
Yeah.
I did
He's
not
the
know that.
Dutch lion. That's like a thing. Yeah.
Oh.
His helmet has a big old lion on it. He's the only, I guess now with Bearman, he was the only driver really associated with a certain animal. Bearman obviously with the
Mm.
name. At least I don't think any of the other drivers like have their own like animal motif. Um
They should work on that.
every driver should have to pick an animal. I guess Daniel Ricciardo had the honey badger, but he's not in the sport anymore, so he doesn't count. Yuki would be I don't know what Yuki would be. Yuki would be like a Pikachu. I know that's not a real animal, but it's fine. All right.
Wait. Is it there an animal called a pika?
There is an animal called a pika. I don't know if it's native
There
to
you go.
Japan though.
Deer.
Mm.
It's like a
I
little
think.
desert mouse thing.
Oh, that's not what I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of the dik, which is the super tiny deer.
Excuse me?
Look
Yes,
it up.
that is correct.
Dik. Look it up. It's like a really tiny deer. Also from Africa, I believe. Africa's got a lot of animals.
Noted.
Um, and I could be wrong about where any of these animals are from. I am not a biologist. So, anyway, yes, there is someone that Brazil loves even more, and it's Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton loves Brazil. Brazil loves him so much right back, they gave him an honorary citizenship, making this technically a home race for him. So technically, this is also Lewis's home race. He gets two. He gets two home races. Um, and after a strong but disappointing Mexico, could this be the weekend we finally see Hamilton back on the podium? If Dave was here, he would interrupt me right now and say no. It's hard to tell because it feels like even when the car is strong, there's a lot of other factors that limit his overall performance. His performance in a race will determine, in this race, I think, will determine if he's on a very late season comeback or Ferrari's curse has an unbreakable grip. Thoughts on Lewis?
I'm going with unbreakable grip.
Unbreakable grip?
Listen,
Yeah.
he was in third. He gets in a scuffle with Max, and it just all gets
Sorry.
downhill from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like even
Whether
whenever the car is good, there's some other. He either gets like a weird scuffle, or like the car just explodes, or like there's always something else.
yeah, it's like he can't. He and the car are not in sync for more than moments at a time. Just mere flashes in the pan.
Yeah,
Just not
I
long
would
enough to string together a whole weekend.
I would agree with that assessment. Which sucks because I know he's capable of it, but it just seems like the car can't do it, which is really unfortunate. Um, so we'll see. We'll see how Lewis does. He loves this place. So I think no matter what, he'll be ultimately happy. Is that your mop bucket?
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. In the other Ferrari, Leclerc is coming off a podium and has the ability to get another one. I think no one's really going to argue that. He's been able to contend with the McLarens and Verstappen, and there's no reason he shouldn't be able to again. If Piastri continues his poor form, then that really opens up the door for the newly engaged Leclerc. Congrats to Charles Leclerc for getting engaged last weekend or like over the week or whatever it was. It was recent. And I found out from an F1 post that's like a post from the official F1 account that said Leo's parents got engaged. And I was like, really? This is how I'm finding out, like from this stupid ass post about his dog. But congratulations to him. Um, and everyone pouring out for Carlos. Seeing the love of his life be paired off with somebody else. So Ferrari, I think everyone kind of agrees Leclerc can do it, and Lewis is gonna be tough, and we're all going with unbreakable grip. But they will also have to contend along with McLaren and Verstappen's, or I'm sorry, the McLarens and Verstappen. There's only one Verstappen. I think everyone in the sport is
Technically, there's
probably
two.
yeah, but only one of them racing in F1 right now. The Ferrari drivers will also have to contend with Russell and Antonelli, who are keeping Mercedes in the second place fight for the constructors. Russell has been so consistent throughout the year, while Antonelli has been up and down. Both, I think, are looking really strong right now, and they're not going to give Ferrari an easy time. They know second place is on the table. They know that they can get it. They're all going to be driving hard and fighting hard for it. Red Bull will be looking at Tsunoda to stay in the points and keep delivering bit by bit in order to help the constructors battle. While qualifying has been great, his race pace lately has been really good, and he's been able to climb into the points, show some real speed, some real fight, some real racecraft. Um, and that's been really helpful for Red Bull's constructor, position, and it's put them in this conversation where they weren't previously. And he's also racing for his future, which adds pressure, but hopefully adds more pace. Although I saw some rumors that he was going to IndyCar next year. So I don't know what's going on with that. but I don't think I'm gonna start watching IndyCar because I think it's like really expensive and hard to watch. Um, like in terms of like accessing the actual races. So, and I'm already paying for F1 and NFL. So I don't think I'm gonna add IndyCar, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. There's definitely not going to be an IndyCar 101. I can tell you that much right now. That's not happening. I already do enough with this show.
You say
Behind,
that now, but just wait. It'll take hold.
we'll see. We'll see. It's not likely for an IndyCar 101. I'll give you that. I'll say that much. Maybe we'll have an IndyCar segment in F101, but that's about probably as much as you're getting. If I get into it.
I
Um,
think it'll just be a Yuki Tsunoda.
yeah. What's Yuki doing? That'll be the next. That'll be a recurring segment. What's Yuki up to these days?
I mean,
Well,
Honda's in like a ton of other racing series, so he'd have his options if he can't get a seat on the grid.
that's true, but I think IndyCar is the most realistic like path back to F1.
Mm.
So, we're gonna be like 30 years we'll be doing this show and I'll be like, what's Yuki up to? Well, he's finally opened his restaurant in London and I finally went and it was great. Manifesting. Uh behind behind Red Bull and Sonoda is Williams, basically has fifth secured, but we signs they can get on a podium, which could disrupt things for everyone ahead of them. Williams on the podium makes the points between that Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull are sharing even tighter. Um, and Sainz has been the stronger driver in this portion of the year, but Albon has what it takes to match him, potentially score a podium in the right scenario. But Albon's gonna need his abysmal luck to take a turn for that to happen. I think Sainz had the horrible luck like a little bit ago. Albon had a bunch of really bad luck, like in Canada and the European stretch, and then Signs had it after that, and now it seems like it's back to Albon. So it looks like there must be like a voodoo doll or something, or like a cursed object in Williams that the drivers play hot potato with, and whoever has it last has to take it for the race. That's the only thing I can imagine, like, because it's like it seems like Albon every time he gets into the car is transported into a hell dimension that we're not aware of its existence yet, like scientifically, but I think Albin's on his way to proving that it exists. So, maybe demons are real and they are torturing Alex Albin and Williams. That is about all I have to say about that. I don't know.
Do we think the unicorn from Baku is helping or hurting this scenario?
Well, it's helping signs. Maybe its pure energy is keeping the demons over on Albin's side of the garage. It's lurking in the corner. So maybe that's why he's doing well now. Maybe the unicorn is real. It's a real unicorn, and it's helping him out. Meanwhile, Albin is being tortured by the ghost of Christmas past. Um, but mainly with Williams, I think if they get up there in the points, they have a way better chance at, you know, like that'll make things a lot closer between everything else. That'll be a big disruption. With everyone else, you have these really close battles, and when one of these drivers gets up into the upper half of the points, Hulkenberg in Austin, Behrman in Mexico, Hadjar in the Netherlands, and they start racing with the front runners, you have this dynamic of a driver with nothing to lose going against a driver with everything to lose. In the Austin sprint, this was resulted in Hulkenberg taking out both McLarens. And this dynamic will only get more intense as we get closer and closer to the end of the season. Everyone's going to be racing really hard and trying to maximize every opportunity, no matter the cost. Sorry, Nate. It's likely you'll get another Austin situation where a car in second prioritizes defending against the car in third, as opposed to trying to catch the car in first. Just so they're trying to keep their points and keep their position. So you got these really close races, and if you get if Hulkenberg qualifies back up in fourth or whatever, he's gonna go for it. He's got nothing to lose. Whereas the people around him is like, man, if I crash now, that's it for the season. like I could really ruin my chances here, especially if it's the McLarens or Verstappen. Although Verstappen isn't one to take things gently. We'll put it like that. We'll phrase it like that. And one final thought, and this is a question for everybody. I'll answer it first, and then I would like you guys to. Who do I think is going to be the difference maker for the midfield? Midfield teams, I'm counting that is everyone below Williams. I think there's a lot of interesting options between Behrman, Hadjar, Alonso, and Gasly, who, in my opinion, are the best candidates for this question. Not counting out anyone else, of course. These are just my personal top options. But of those four, I have to say, I think Behrman, number one candidate to be the difference maker for the midfield right now, closely followed by Hadjar. I think Hadjar's right behind him. Hadjar is just, I think, in a better car, and he's already got a podium, so seeing him up there isn't as surprising. But Behrman, I think, has been really, really strong, and I think he has a higher chance to be like this difference maker in the midfield. Then take Haas's fight, you know, keep them, get them ahead of Aston Martin and get Behrman ahead of Alonso. So I think it's very possible that's my candidate for the quote unquote difference maker of the midfield. And Andrew and Nate, if you have an opinion on this question, please share.
I gotta vote Alonso. You already know. I have to
Okay.
just on principle.
The blind loyalty has started. Let's go.
We got him.
No, but honestly though, like if he shakes again, like you said earlier in this stream, like if depending on which Aston car shows up for him,
Hmm.
um, he's either the unluckiest driver in the world or he's a two-time world champ, with the experience to back it up,
Hmm.
the
That
experience
is
and savvy
true.
to back it
Yeah.
up. So it's like I think at the very least he'll be that stalwart, 10th place, like,
Hmm.
and combating in that area of the grid, in that stretch of the grid. Um, yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
All right, Andrew, rebuttal.
Uh, Listen, Alonso's old and he doesn't have it
Hold on. Old.
anymore.
Damn.
No, I mean,
Sorry.
it's. I think there's always going to be a difference maker for each team.
Mm.
Especially in the midfield, you're going to have that one driver that comes up kind of in the clutch. Maybe for Williams, it's a little bit of both, depending on who's got the demons. But I wouldn't be surprised to see any of the drivers. It's like Hulkenberg from Sauber, Behrman, um, Alonso. Like I wouldn't be surprised to see any of them like show up in a podium here or there just because they have the proven skill. Um, I think I am more interested in from like what is someone like Bortoleto gonna be able to pull out in his home race because we've seen him up kind of near the top. I think he was in what fifth or sixth as his highest finish. Um, so maybe we could see something like him, but I have to agree, difference makers. You know, I got to go with Behrman because that's my guy.
Mm. I mean, Behrman's a solid choice. I mean, not just, and that's not just because I also chose Behrman. He's been on a complete tear lately.
He's
So I mean, in Mexico, he's got to be coming off such a high after that performance in Mexico. I think it's going to be hard to count him out for the
and it's been
remainder.
building too. I think it's three Q3s in a row right now. See if he
He,
can make it four.
he's good. He's good.
He's good, and the Haas is starting to show some speed.
True. A little too late to maybe, a little late in the season. They left it a little last minute, but
You know
hey,
what?
I
Better
did with
late
all my
than never.
schoolwork and I still graduated, so
I mean, if we manage to get to like 6. We're 8 in constructors right now, so we can get up
Correct.
7-6.
Well, look, Racing Bulls on 6, so let's not.
Well,
Let's
but yeah, temper expectations. But even if we can get up to say 7,
I think you
I
will.
think that shows big improvement and kind of a
Hmm.
better. We're in a better spot, so to
Honestly, I think 6 is doable. I just don't want it to happen.
speak. That is, you
So,
know what, that is fair.
so yes. Any final thoughts? I have one more thing to say, but it's unrelated to the Brazil preview. So, any final thoughts on Brazil before we move on?
Not from me.
Sounds good. Nate, I'm assuming, is busy working, and that's totally fine. So we will move on for a bit of
Absolutely unacceptable.
for a bit of record keeping. Last week, I mentioned early in the year at a point, I said that I had faith in Haas, that they had potential, and I finally found the quote. I didn't get it 100% accurate what I said, but I got close enough. So this is from week 12. This is the Great Britain preview. So this was in July. Um, if any midfield team is going to make the fight against Williams, I actually think it'll be Haas. They're 26 behind Williams, so it's a long haul, and they're 7 behind VCarb. But with VCarb's recent performances, and with Haas truly capable of more, I could see them getting into the mix. Is VCarb with their current performance more likely? Yes, but I won't count out Haas just yet. Both Ocon and Behrman have put in some very solid races, and while the car has been super up and down, here it is. I think a late season surge isn't impossible. So I just want to say I called it. I said something about having faith in Haas. I finally found it. I obviously didn't get my own quote 100% correct, and obviously Haas isn't going to be able to catch Williams. But I mean they could if Williams doesn't score and Haas wins, but I don't think that's realistic. So uh the late season search for Haas, I'm glad that that's coming true for various reasons. So mainly though because I was right. Oh, sorry. I've had a cough. I was screaming all Monday. I went to a concert, so my voice is a little rough. Um, so let's go into picking the podium. We had another shift in the lead. Nate is now winning, and it followed. He's got 400. Sam has 397. I have 381. Andrew at 347. You're in this thing, man. One perfect weekend where everyone else doesn't get anything, and you're ahead. So, um,
Me and Max Verstappen.
you can't count Andrew out just yet. Dave, you can for sure. Certainly, Dave, you can. But Nate, since you're in first, you do have to go first. I understand that you are busy, so I am going to just read off what you texted me. Um, and if you need to change it, I think it's fine. I think Andrew, you can agree that
Yeah.
if he has a different, I'm sure Sam would agree as well. So Nate texted and he said he wanted to have Norris, Verstappen, Russell. And Nate, if you change your mind before the end of the show, totally valid. Completely allowed. Because he literally texted me, just in case I'm not there, Norris, Verstappen, Russell. If I'm there, that may change. So he put in the caveat. Sam had Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc. I am going Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, and Andrew is going Verstappen. I'm guessing.
Excuse me.
What gave it away?
Just the fact that you said I'm gonna pick Verstappen every time.
Oh boy.
Whoa!
Sorry. I just wanted to say real quick, I am sticking with those picks. The
All
band
right,
showed up in the court and just started playing and whatnot, so
you're all good. You are
super
all
loud
good.
in there.
No worries. All right, Andrew, give me your picks. Let me hear them.
I think Verstappen, Norris, 1-2. I gotta believe in the comeback because if it's real for Verstappen, it's real for me.
Hey man, that's a great quote.
Three, I've been struggling with. Very easy to put Piastri. The car's there. Very easy to put Leclerc. Um, I'm
Very easy to put Russell.
I agree, but also I don't think Russell's quite. He's been racing well, but I don't think he's been racing at the same level as. Well, I mean, he's been racing better than Piastri. I would say that.
I
Um,
think that's more Piastri doing poorly, though.
yeah, and I don't. I'm trying to in my head think about is like how much of Piastri not doing so well is from the fact that he may not have raced these circuits as much as maybe the European circuits. Um, but I think I'm ultimately gonna go Piastri 3. I think I will copy you.
All right,
Um,
Andrew. I'm hoping you get a perfect week this week.
um, so yeah, we'll see. But you guys have pretty much took all of my third place options, so I couldn't switch it up as much this weekend as I may have would have liked.
It happens. It happens. All right, and then Dave Verstappen, Gasly, Colapinto. Dave hoping for a repeat of last year. um, our conversation went something like this. I was like, okay, I'm about to do some rain dances for you. He says, I'm going to need all the drivers to be investigated for horrendous crimes. I respond, Zach Brown will be busy comforting Trump after last night. So McLaren's a write off. Ferrari's incapable of winning. Williams has zero luck. And so Merc is the only team to contend with, really. And he said, therefore, by process of elimination, only Alpine and Red Bull are contenders. And they forgot Yuki at the airport. Ergo, my podium.
That was fucking. How does that happen,
Dude,
man?
I know it's so sad. It made me I was tearing up watching that video. I was like, that's my boy. And he just forgot that he was coming and he's just stranded in the airport. It's better than what happened in Vegas last year though, where he got like interrogated by customs. Which
Oh,
pisses me
jeez.
off. Yeah, so that's a different what the hell? Shit. So yes, that is F101. Any final thoughts for the evening before I hit end stream?
I'm fresh out of thoughts currently.
Fresh out of thoughts. Fresh out of thoughts. Very
No
fair.
thoughts, all vibes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Nate, I'll give you a few seconds, and if not, no worries. I understand that you're busy.
I think it shows great dedication, Nate, that you even tuned in from work. I think, Nate is out here dedicated to the cause.
He is. He is. He's here. Um, even though he's busy mopping. Oh,
I, no, no, yeah. You know something? You know something about this?
what?
The one day I decide to try this, this is when it's not empty. I don't know why. Just all of a sudden, everyone decided to show up and make noise.
That's how it works.
The one day. But yeah, no, I don't think I have any additional thoughts. I guess just on my podiums, it's like forecast for rain on Saturday. I'm hoping that kind of that'll bolster Russell's qualifying efforts and Merck's qualifying efforts,
Mm.
bumping him onto the podium. I am a Max Verstappen believer. I just don't want to believe in him enough due to conflicting interests.
So we've got. I don't want to believe him enough, and Andrew going. If it's real for him, it's real for me.
I respect that. I support that.
This
Sums up.
podcast is a Max Verstappen believer. We are official believers of Max Verstappen. That amount of belief varies per person.
Can we get that made into a T-shirt?
I believe in Max Verstappen. F101. All right. That is it. Thank you guys for being here. I think that's a good note to end on. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're in the comments, let me know who you think is going to be the midfield difference maker, whether it's Behrman or Aston Alonso, maybe it's Stroll, maybe Colapinto's going to win the remaining races. Probably not, but you never know. Let me know who you think's going to be that midfield difference maker, and let me know what you think about the #1 comedy F1 podcast on YouTube and Twitch. You heard it here first. I'm manifesting it. Good night, everybody.
Our claim.
Yeah, we're staking it. Have a great night. We will be here next week for the Brazil review. And then I'll have an update on the schedule for the rest of the year. Then because the next show would be the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and I don't think I can do that. So we'll figure that out later. Thank
I
you
will be
and
hosting it from my farm.
thank you and good night.